How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Amatsutsumi. We are now in the next part of the game, of the story. So you can kind of forget about what happened in the previous episodes because we aren't in that route anymore. We didn't really... I guess you can say all of that happened between us and Kokoro, figuring things out, her finding out that, hey, she was just under a kotodama and that we're not actually family, and all of that nonsense. You can completely forget about that because that is not a part of the mainline story here, which it is what it is. It's the nature of the route systems that you see in visual novels. It is what it is. Before we actually move on, though, we're in Kyouko's. Kyouko's next. I don't know if you could say that we're in her route yet. We haven't been given the choice to really go down her route, but we're approaching it. She's the one that is next, in a very similar way that Kokoro was always going to be first, ever since we started playing the game. But I wanted to load up a comment here because I was very appreciative of this comment, but it's been a few days, and I have to quickly scroll because I'm stupid and I didn't really prepare for this. But I think it was Flaming Spinach who told me that, here it is. They said that, to give an idea of the pacing that we're currently on, we're about 31% of the way through the game, as they compared this playthrough with a completed playthrough already on YouTube. So first off, thank you, my friend, for commenting that, and also doing the comparisons to even find that out. And yeah, I mean, that's so cool. I mean, it's so cool to know exactly where we're at, or at least to get an idea. We're about of the third of the way through the game here. And, I'm having fun. I hope you guys are as well. But without further ado, let's jump into the next part of whatever is awaiting us. A few days have passed since Mana's sudden transfer. So there's the music. So far, Mana has clearly failed to fit into her new class. Of course, neither of us have ever had an old class. School is something completely new to us. Although she shows some confusion at the goings-on around her, ultimately she insists on playing by her own rules. At home, the situation is no different. It goes without saying that there was no empty room in the house ready to accept a sudden new member of the Oribe family. Mana seemed to have assumed that she could stay in my room, but after my begging and pleading, it was decided that she would stay in Kokoro's room instead. Yeah, I don't want to remember that epic struggle right now. Yeah, I'm glad we don't have to go through that now, and I'm glad we didn't have to go through that back then in the other route. Now I'm observing Mana in the classroom environment. Here she seems even more socially lost than I did when I first arrived, but apparently people consider that to be part of her charm. At lunchtime, people come and crowd around her desk to talk to her, though not as many as there were on her first day. To quote Koichi, her beauty makes her seem so elegant and refined, but on the inside, she's kind of an airhead. What a contrast. I get what he's saying, but what about Kyouko? She's nothing like Mana, of course, but in her own way, she's very beautiful in appearance. And there's quite a contrast between her looks and her personality, just as Koichi said about Mana. It's just... she's sitting at her desk, alone, silently. She's not looking at anyone or moving a muscle. She's beautiful, but in the way a doll might be. Unlike Mana, barely anyone ever comes and talks to Kyouko. She's not actively rejecting other people, it's more like she's trying very hard to be an inanimate object. What is it that makes her and Mana so different? As curious classmates come and ask her various questions, she responds with rather shallow answers. It's not that she's in a bad mood, though. She probably considers talking to her classmates far less boring than having to endure listening to the teachers during class. I was wondering how the game was going to handle, okay, we're not going down this route, but we're kind of, going forward in time nonetheless. I think from the one route that we've done so far, the game handled it pretty well with, everything continued forward. everybody didn't just fucking disappear and we just focused on one character for a couple hours. They were still there. Events that were set up continued on, such as Mana becoming a student. So this is different, but I mean, it's all the same, really.
でも興味ないのそういうもの
Her attitude toward their questions is not friendly, and she doesn't even pretend to smile at them. Still, I'm very pleased to see that she's actually talking to them instead of just ignoring them. Now that she's left the village, even temporarily, I hope that she takes the opportunity to discover something valuable to her here. For example, there was no one else in the village who was our age. Maybe here she can make some new friends. At the end of the break, or as the end of the break approaches, our classmates begin to return to their seats and Mana's face seems to sink ever so slightly. I'm guessing that she's starting to feel hungry. She must be waiting for lunchtime to come around, and so am I really. In the village, we never scheduled our activities during the day as precisely as they do here. We just ate whenever we were hungry. Oh yeah, you have to abide by the schedule in school, or try to get away with eating in class, which I would never dare. Once we break for lunch, her expression noticeably brightens. She's even smiling happily as she picks up her lunchbox and turns to me, excuse me. And then...
こんにちは
Oh.
兄さん一緒にお昼食べようよ
Kokodo and Hotaru show up, holding lunchboxes of their own. Sure, but what's up? There must be some reason they bothered coming all the way here from their classroom.
ほらこの間京子さんと一緒にお昼食べられなかったでしょ
Oh yeah, you know what? That was an event that happened in the route, so what's gonna happen
どう
here?
かなって思って
Ah, I nodded myself. The other day I was trying to help Kyouko get to know Kokoro and Hotaru, excuse me, but we ended up touring the campus and didn't have lunch together that day. And more recently, Kokoro was talking about getting together for lunch sometime soon too. I didn't expect them to show up here without telling me first though. In that case, let's get Kyouko.
あの子ならもういないわよ
Mana is looking at Kyoko's seat. I look too and see the same thing she does. A desk and an empty seat. You're right. When did she leave?
チャイムが鳴ったらすぐ出て行ったわよ
I wonder where she went.
さあ
Mana shrugs. She doesn't know and apparently doesn't care either.
駅違いになっちゃった先に行っておいたらよかったかな
Kokodo frowns disappointedly.
まあいいんじゃないすぐ戻ってくるかもしれないし
That is true.
とにかくお腹が空いたわ早く食べましょうお兄ちゃん
Alright. Or okay, whichever word you want to use there, and Mana's prodding. I gather some empty chairs from nearby and arrange them around my desk, as we all sit down and open our lunchboxes. I sense a lot of people staring at us, but I don't really mind.
いただきます
Yes, let's. Mana merely nods at us, then opens her lunchbox and starts eating without a word, excuse me.
ところで
Hotaru, who has been observing Mana with great interest, now turns to me and speaks.
失礼ながらこちらの方は一体
Uh-oh. Ah, that's right, I forgot. I never explained Mana's existence to Hotaru. Well, she's...
ホタルンマナちゃんは私の姉さんだよ
Before I can respond, Kokodo jumps in.
ココロのお姉さんそうだよ初対面だよね
Hotaru stares. Kokodo looks back at her, puzzled, and then turns to Mana.
マナちゃん私の親友の水月ホタルだよそうよろしく
Mana stops stuffing her mouth for a moment to nod slightly in Hotaru's direction.
こちらこそよろしくお願いします
Hotaru nods back a little stiffly and then turns to me with question marks writ large on her eyes. I say nothing and just nod. And that seems to be enough for her to guess what I'm trying to say.
ホタルン食べないのあまり食欲ないとか
Kokodo looks concerned.
食べますはい
She smiles at Kokodo reassuringly and then picks up her chopsticks. It looks like I should try to find some time to explain the Mana situation to Hotaru in more detail. Instead of just, well, I mean, she's going to accept it. She did in the route. But I guess we have to kind of like get over that hurdle. Both Mana and Kokoro must have been very hungry since they barely say anything while we eat. Meanwhile, Kyouko is still nowhere to be seen. It's been too long for it to be a bathroom break. Maybe she's holed up in the library prep room again.
ねえ、Makoto-san。
What?
はい。
Oh no, not this again. Hotaru picks up a morsel from her lunchbox with her chopsticks and brings it to my mouth. Are you giving it to me?
ホタル、もう割とお腹いっぱいなので、よかったら食べてくれませんか？
Thanks. She must be full already, in which case I have no objections. Honestly, one lunchbox of food isn't really enough to be a hearty meal for me. Delicious. The seasoning is a little different from what Azuki-san makes.
それはよかった。もっと食べますか？
May I really?
構いませんよ。ほら。
Her chopsticks pick up another morsel and bring it to my mouth.
ちょっと待って、ホタル。
Kokoro leans forward and glares at me.
もう、兄さんも兄さんだよ。
What do you mean? I don't really understand why she's so angry.
焼いてるんじゃないですか？はい、もう一つどうぞ。
Hotaru pushes another bite into my mouth without skipping a beat.
また。
Kokoro scowls at me reproachfully. Something tells me she doesn't like it when Hotaru feeds me. But surely she can't expect me to spit out food that's already in my mouth.
小さい子でも恋人でもないのに、人前でそういうことしないの。
Mana, who has been busily eating, suddenly freezes. Really? Hotaru had started feeding me so naturally that I just assumed it was a standard thing to do.
まあ、普通は心の言う通りかな。そうだよ。恥ずかしいって思うの、普通は。でも別に規則で決まっているわけでもないし、誠さんへホタルからの近づきの印という聞き捨てならないわ。
Uh-oh. Mana's eyes narrow as she fixes Hotaru and me with a sharp look.
心、こちらでは親密な関係の男女はこういうことをするものなのね。
どっちかっていうと、そうでない人はやらないだけど。
そう。
She nods and then swiftly brings her chopsticks in front of my face, loaded with some meat from her own lunchbox.
さあ、食べて。お兄ちゃん。
No, that's okay, you should have it. She's been scarfing down her lunch practically from the moment we sat down, so she must be very hungry. And if my own appetite is any indication, one lunchbox of food around here isn't enough to satisfy someone from our village. Her lunch is almost gone already, and so I'd feel bad to steal what little she has left.
じゃあ、こうしましょう。
She puts her meat back and then reaches her chopsticks toward Hotaru's lunch. She picks up another bit of the same vegetable Hotaru had been feeding me and brings it to my mouth.
はい、どうぞ。お兄ちゃん。
Hotaru stares at Mana, seemingly in admiration. Mana, that's Hotaru's food. You shouldn't just steal people's...
あら？だってもうお腹いっぱいでいらないんでしょ？
確かにそう言いました。あ、いやー、一本取られましたね、これは。
Hotaru nods gravely, but with a playful smile on her lips.
マナちゃんもホタルの真似しないの。そういうことするのは。
それだけ親密な関係の男女でしょ？つまり私とお兄ちゃんならむしろして当然ということよね。
それを言ったら私だって同じ立場だし。おっと、本音が出ちゃったね、心。
Hotaru turns an evil grin on Kokoro.
羨ましいなら羨ましいって最初から言えばいいのに。そんなこと私思ってないよ。
As she protests, her cheeks redden all the way up to her ears. She's so cute. I bet Hotaru is trying to get this reaction out of her too.
私も別に羨んではいないわ。当然の権利だもの。ほら、お兄ちゃん。
After dismissing the other two, she smiles sweetly and pushes her chopsticks against my lips. The look on her face is strangely seductive. It's almost like the way she looks when she's inviting me to bed.
あ
She grins cattily as she just realized something.
あ、もしかして、お兄ちゃんは、口移しの方が良かった？
She withdraws her chopsticks and puts the food between her own lips, and then brings her face to mine. Oh, she is trying so hard.
ダメだよ、マナちゃん。
Kokodo, panicking, sticks her face in between the two of us. And then... she steals the food from Mana's mouth, almost kissing her in the process.
な、
Even Mana can't help but rear back in surprise.
おお、実力行使。ココロン意外と大胆。
なんてことするのよ、この子は。
だってマナちゃん、言ってもやめてくれないんだもん。
Mana and Kokodo are glaring daggers at each other now. This conversation is taking a turn for the worse.
あなた、姉の私に指図する気？
妹だからこそ、ダメだって思った時は体を張ってでも止めるの。
そう。いい度胸ね。
The two of them are slowly raising their voices, and we're beginning to draw attention from the rest of the class. At this rate, maybe it would have been better to just let them all feed me from the beginning. Kokodo? Mana?
兄さんは、
お兄ちゃんは、口を挟まないで。
Well, I guess I have no choice but to withdraw. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that Hotaru is just enjoying every fucking bit of this. She knows what's going on. What on earth am I gonna do with them? What a contrast, though, compared to, like, how, I guess, friendly they were in the route. We've almost finished eating, but Kokodo and Mana are still arguing. But thanks to several well-timed jokes from Hotaru, it hasn't developed into a real fight. Well, arguments are an important type of communication, too. Mana might be slipping into the role of Oribe Mana more easily than I imagined she would. Though outwardly, she looks uninterested in the outside world, and there are probably a fair number of things that she doesn't like here too. Like the food, for example. Now then, I excuse myself to go to the bathroom, but after I'm done, I hesitate to re-enter the classroom. The thought of Kyouko crosses my mind. When I left the classroom just now, she still hadn't come back. That must mean she really did go to the library prep room. I decide to go and check. And what do we find? As expected, when I knock, Kyouko replies, so I open the door. Hello?
あ、誠くん。
She looks up in surprise from whatever book she was reading. Were you reading? I hope you don't mind me disturbing you.
もちろん。どうぞどうぞ。
She stands up and pulls out a chair for me. I sink into it gratefully, excuse me. Whew. Yeah, this is nice. This room really calms me down. It's quiet and the smell of books fills the air. It's so different from the classroom despite being part of the same school building.
それで、何か私にご用でしょうか？
She looks at me uncertainly. Not particularly, I just wanted to go somewhere quiet. I explain what happened in the classroom with the other girls at lunch.
それは大変申し訳ないことを。妹さんたち、せっかく来てくださったのに。
She bows apologetically over and over again. Don't worry about it, Kyouko. It's not like you knew they would be coming. Anyway, considering what had ended up happening, she probably would have felt very awkward even if she did say, this really is a nice spot. I look around the room again and nod to myself in satisfaction. It's like an oasis of solitude in the middle of the huge crowd that is the school and its students. It's quiet and calm. I feel at peace here. Of course, it's not that I have a problem with crowds or noise. I even like them. But too much of anything can tire a person out.
はい、私もそう思います。
She smiles happily and nods in agreement, but then she looks concerned.
でも、それなら私がいるとお邪魔でしょうか。
Why would you be? I'm happier with you here than not. I mean, I came here looking for her in the first place.
ならいいんですけど。
So, are you always here during lunch break?
そうですね。毎日必ずというわけでもないんですけど。
She places a bookmark in her book and closes it.
お昼だけ中庭で食べたりとか。でも、最後はここが多いですね。
Do you avoid the classroom because of how noisy and annoying the lunchtime crowd there is? She smiles uncomfortably.
いいえ、どちらかというと、私がいると、みんなが煩わしいと思うんじゃないかって。
You? Annoy them? Why? God damn it, my fucking water bottle. I can't imagine why anyone would be annoyed by Kyoko's presence when she's so quiet and unamusing. Or
私、
unassuming, I mean.
基本的にノリが暗いから、いるだけで、みんなでワイワイやっている空気を損なうと思うんです。
Honestly, I'm pretty sure she's overthinking things. Yeah, if you guys ever hear like pops or crackles, it's either my body creaking, which happens, or my fucking water bottle.
友達が欲しいって言ってたのに、変な子だって思います？
No, I don't think that. I mean, I do. Maybe that's just how it is for someone with Kyoko's personality. If she feels more comfortable here in the library prep room, there's no need to force herself to spend her break in the classroom.
自然な感じで溶け込めるようになりたいと思ってはいるんです。でも、どうすればいいのか全然わからなくて。
Well, my kotodama could probably solve that instantly. But that's probably not the kind of solution Kyouko is looking for. She wants to develop her own social skills, not rely on someone else to make things go smoothly. To be honest, I don't really know either. I made friends with Koichi so easily enough, and that's more thanks to his social skills than mine, I think. But maybe you could try reaching out to other people just like you did to me. It's not the fanciest method, but it might end up being the fastest. The most direct way to make friends is to tell people you want to make friends. There's always the possibility you'll be rejected, but there will almost certainly be people who accept you too.
それは無理です。
She shakes her head. Why not?
あれは誠くん相手だからできたんです。ちょっと特別ですから。
Yeah, she was like really curious about us or something like that. I think it's probably from how like quickly we made friends with Koichi, so like she just took the chance. But that's more reason to take the chance with other people too. What do you mean? Me special?
つまり、誠くんは転入生で、過去の私を知らない人ですし。
I mean, with that argument, you can make friends with all your kohai and probably Mana.
それに。
She narrows her eyes, seemingly peering at something behind me. Yes?
その、後ろの守護霊が。
Guardian spirit? I can't help but look over my shoulder. Oh shit, our stand! Of course I don't see anything there. But maybe Kyouko does?
私がそうじゃないかと思ってるだけで、本当は何なのかよくわからないんですけど。
She explains haltingly. Apparently, besides those that are bound to a certain place or just float around in the air, there are some spirits that attach themselves to specific people. And not everyone has such a spirit attached to them, but every once in a while she sees someone who does.
取り憑かれているのとはまたちょっと雰囲気が違って、なんとなく気配が柔らかいんです。
Huh, I see. I can't really picture what the world must look like to her, with all these ghosts everywhere. But she doesn't seem to be lying, so I have no reason not to take her at her word. So you say I have one of these spirits attached to me, too?
はい。
I look over my shoulder again. I still can't sense that there's anything there. What do they look like? Or maybe I should say, it?
漠然とした気配があるだけで、明確な形をとって見えるわけではないんです。
So it's like one of those eye floaters. She squints as if in sunlight, even though we're indoors. I see.
はい。誠くんの背後から爽やかな光が差しているような、そんな感じです。
I don't feel anything like that at all myself. I never even imagined that something like that could be following me around. So you first decided to talk to me because you saw this guardian spirit?
はい。
Okay, well, that kind of answers something there. She nods seriously.
こんなに立派で感じのいい守護霊がついているのだから、きっと素晴らしい人なのだろうと思って、実際、誠くんは私にとても親切にしてくれました。
So there's some kind of relationship between the way a guardian spirit looks and the kind of person it guards?
断言はできません。でも、私の経験上、そういう傾向があるような気がして。
She looks away a little awkwardly.
ともかく、そういうわけで、最初から誠くんは、私には特別な人だったんです。
I see. So that's why she was able to muster the courage to talk to me. But I guess we can't go around taking or attacking fine-looking guardian spirits on people to help you make friends with them. I suppose I could use my kotodama to make that happen, at least from Kyouko's perspective, but that would be too much work.
もちろんです。
She hangs her head and sighs at her own impotence.
だから本当は、そういう保証に頼らなくても、私が勇気を出せるようになれればいい。分かってはいるんです、頭では。でも。
But when it comes time to actually do it, she falters. This is a pretty tough problem. By the way, are there any books in here that might help? Her eyes dart to the book she was reading before I arrived. That one?
はい。ちょうど読んでいたところがそんな感じのシーンでした。ずっと気になっていた相手に主人公が声をかけて仲良くなろうとするという。
That sounds perfect. Alright, why don't we try acting out that scene? From what I'm hearing, it sounds like what you need is a little practice to get you started. If she rehearses a few times, it might go more smoothly the next time she tries it for real.
でもこれ恋愛小説なんですけど。
Oh, even better. A romance novel. In other words, a story that focuses on the subtle interactions between men and women. Is there something wrong with it being a romance novel? Maybe she means it won't be useful since it's just a fictional story?
まずいというか、
Can I see it for a second? I take the book and open it to the page she's bookmarked. I read a few lines and see that it's the perfect scene for us to try. Alright, why don't we try out this part?
でも。
But what?
ちょっと恥ずかしいです。
Ah, come on, it's just roleplay. She looks up at me, blushing. Her expression is super cute, and I feel something stir within me. That's exactly the kind of thing you're trying to get over, isn't it?
その通りですね。
She nods emphatically, and then stands up straight.
わかりました。頑張ってみます。
Okay, well then. I'm sure this will go well. To summarize, the story goes something like this. The main character, a girl, is going to the school library looking for a reference book. When she arrives, someone is already there. It's the boy in her class who she secretly admired for a long time. She briefly greets him but fails to continue the conversation and ends up searching the bookshelves in silence. Suddenly, she finds the book she wanted, but it's on the top shelf. She stands on tiptoes and tries to reach for it, but it's just barely beyond her reach. When she tries to jump to reach it, she loses her balance and falls backwards into the arms of the boy. They get to talking, and before long... Can you start from this part where the main character is reaching for the book?
はい。よろしくお願いします。
No problem. She bows briefly and then turns to the bookshelf and raises her hand. I position myself a few steps behind her. I have to be ready to catch her at any time. Kyouko reaches up and then sways. I rush forward to catch her. Wait, what's happening here? Why does this look weird? Losing her balance, she twirls around by a half turn and then falls toward me face first. Ah. That's not in the script. Kyoko's face, wide-eyed and shocked, fills my view. God, she's cute. An instinctive impulse leaps into my brain, telling me to pounce on her and fondle her all over. Of course, that's not the kind of thing I'm trying to do here, so I ignore this impulse. Kyouko? In my arms, she feels stiff as a board. According to the script, she's supposed to thank me, and I'm supposed to offer to take the book down from the shelf for her, but she's silent.
誠くん、顔が近い。
Yeah? I mean, of course it is. I'm supposed to be embracing her. Was she expecting me to catch her at arm's length with my elbows stiff like a robot? I'm just waiting for her to read her line, but no matter how long I wait, she doesn't do anything. We're just staring at each other silently as the seconds tick by. Hey, yo, hold on a second. What's happening? Now she's closed her eyes. I guess the nerves must be really getting to her? Is she hyperventilating? Maybe I should help her to calm down a little. Kyouko, are you okay?
大丈夫です。
Yeah, she's not fine at all. Listen, Kyouko, calm down a little, okay? Without that kotodama, I had the feeling that we'd be here all day.
はい。落ち着きました。
She exhales sharply as if jolting awake from a dream. Can we keep going now?
続きって。
Her eyes go wide again. She blushes deep red. My kotodama only ended up lasting for a few seconds. She's kind of amazing in her own way, Kyouko is. In the script, the next line is you, Kyouko.
なるほど。そういうことでしたか。私、てっきり。
You thought?
なんでもありません。
She turns away from me with an incredibly embarrassed look on her face. A shiver runs down my spine at the sheer cuteness of it. I really want to pin her to a table and... What the fuck? God damn it. Jesus Christ, sorry. I really wasn't expecting that. Maybe this is the kind of urge Mana feels when she torments me during sex. Come on now, that's not fair. Tell me what you were gonna say.
でも...
Kyouko, answer me. I lean in and murmur the kotodama in her ear.
はい。キスするのかなって、もしかしたら、そのまま、もっと先まで、とか。
I see. So that's why she closed her eyes earlier. I should have just listened to my impulses. This was a bit of a wasted opportunity. There's probably not enough time left in our lunch break for sex, but I could have easily fit a kiss into my schedule.
私、なんてことを。
She shrinks in embarrassment in my arms. One more for the Kyouko cuteness list.
今のは忘れてください。
As she tries to wriggle out of my arms, she bangs her head on the bookshelf behind her. Well, this all went very well. She crouches on the ground, clutching her head. Are you okay? I bend over to look at her face as I gently rub her head. It wasn't that hard of an impact, as she's probably fine, but just in case. There, see, it doesn't hurt anymore. Her face, which was contorted in pain, suddenly reverts to her normal expression.
すごい。本当に痛くなくなりました。
That's good. Come on, let's go back to the classroom. Lunch break is about to end. I stroke her hair one more time before I lift my hand.
はい。
She smiles happily and slowly gets to her feet. Well, that was an interesting lunch break. We went through, calamity to whatever that was.
どこへ行っていたのよ。
Mana accosts us at the entrance of the classroom with a sharp look. Kyouko withers under Mana's gaze. I don't think that's necessary since she hasn't done anything wrong. What happened to Kokodo and Hotaru? At a glance, I don't see them anywhere in the classroom. Well, the bell is about to ring, so they're probably back in their own classroom by now.
もうとっくに戻ったわ。
From her tone, she doesn't seem to be in a bad mood. I guess the argument between her and Kokodo cleared itself up by the end, one way or another. Oh, that's right. Mana, would you be Kyoko's friend too?
何よ、いきなり。
Mana furrows her brows in confusion at my request. Kyouko told me she wanted to make more friends and asked for my help. And I think it could be good for you to have a female friend in our class too.
あなたが私の友達。
Mana looks Kyouko over appraisingly from head to toe, not even pretending to be discreet. Kyouko flinches and then stiffens. Well, she's trying her best. If she wasn't, she'd probably have jumped back several paces and then run out of the room.
あくまでもしよかったらで。
How are you, like, not giving yourself scoliosis from that pose you're always doing?
でもやっぱりダメですよね。私みたいな子が友達なんておこがましい。別に構わないけど、友達。
Mana's expression is exactly the same as before. Kyouko stares unbelieving.
いいんですか？ええ。他ならぬお兄ちゃんの頼みだから特別よ。
Well, there you have it. Congratulations, Kyouko.
ありがとうございます。
She breaks into a smile of relief as she bows her head. Mana watches her in fascination. I don't often see that look on Mana's face. Who knows, maybe she and Kyouko are actually a pretty good match. Well, that settles that. Let's all get along with each other from now on.
こちらこそよろしくお願いします。ええ、よろしく。
Mana smiles in amusement as Kyouko frantically bows again. I know that smile all too well. Maybe there really is something about Kyouko that stirs up the sadistic side of anyone she's with.
で、友達って具体的には何をするものなの？
Mana turns to me and cocks her head to the side. Well, various things, I guess. I think about my relationship with Koichi as I answer. Friends hang out with each other, talk to each other, give each other advice, help each other out. Actually, haven't Mana and I been friends since we were kids? Friendship back in the village and friendship here can't be all that different.
取り立てて意識する必要もないということかしら。
Yes. If they can just play it by ear, then all the better. Though it might be a little difficult for Kyouko.
あの、
Kyouko had been listening quietly to our conversation, but now she butts in.
もしよかったら私のこと名前で呼んでいただけませんか？いいわ。京子。ね。
Kyouko nods and smiles radiantly. She reminds me of a friendly puppy.
あなたも私のこと名前で呼んで構わないわよ。
Oh wow, what an honor. Honestly, I'm a little surprised. I didn't think Mana would go out of her way to make an offer like that.
その方がお兄ちゃんと区別しやすいでしょ。ありがとうございます。
At that instant, the bell rings. As we all obediently return to our seats, Mana turns to me with a sensuous smile on her lips.
ね、お兄ちゃんの頼みを聞いてあげた
Oh
んだから、
no.
私もお願いを言ってもいいかしら？
Guys, I don't know about you, but that does not bode well to me. That does not bode well to me at all, honestly. I've got a bad feeling. Mana's request is undoubtedly of that nature. I tried telling Mana that we can't since class is about to start, but that doesn't make a difference to her. Don't tell me. Do not tell me. I end up using my kotodama to help us to make a break from class undetected.
ほら、好きなようにしていいのよ。
This is out of nowhere. This is coming out of nowhere. As soon as we go into an empty classroom and shut the door, Mana loosens her uniform and exposes her body to me completely vulnerable. Why?
私の体をどう使ってもお兄ちゃんなら許してあげる。
Why?
だからお兄ちゃんも欲望に従いなさい。
Well, that's that. As she says this, Mana leans her body against mine. Oh. I've been about to push Mana back and tell her to wait, but her kotodama makes my heart waver. Well, that was fun. That was a fun break from the usual deal. That came out of nowhere, honestly. Completely out of nowhere. I bump into Koichi on my way back from the bathroom.
なあ、お前本当に昔は病弱だったのか？
He looks at me oddly as he asks his question. Yeah. I nod. That's the story I'm going with anyway. And I did get deathly ill during the epidemic when I was a kid, so technically I'm not lying.
とてもそうは思えない体してるな、今は。
He slaps me on the chest.
華奢に見えるが、やっぱりがっちりしてるわ、お前の胸板。
Well, once I was old enough, I did put in the work to keep my body as strong as I could. Mainly by doing a lot of farming.
それで陸上部のやつに勝つって相当なもんだぜ。年がら年中走ってるような連中だぞ。
He looks at me as if I'm crazy, excuse me. Apparently he's still thinking about how badly I beat the athletes in the class during PE just now. What can I say? I have strong legs and a lot of stamina. I'm pretty sure I'm better than anyone in school at just running around. That's easy.
本格的にスポーツやるつもりはないのか？
No, learning all the rules would be too much work anyway. Running is simple, but most sports involve a lot of complex decision-making and teamwork. It sounds pretty tough.
そうか。ちょっともったいないような気もするが。
Koichi looks down the hallway. I follow his gaze and see Mana talking to a boy at the end of the hall. Or rather, she's being talked to by him, it looks like.
おお、マナちゃんさすがだな。ありゃ隣のクラスのやつだぞ。
What do you mean, way to go?
モテるなってことだよ。
Yeah, she does seem strangely popular. People must be interested in her because she's a transfer student, and that's rare. Mana is anything but friendly, so it certainly can't be her personality that draws people to her.
いや、どう考えてもそこじゃないだろ
He looks at me and snorts.
う。まあでも、お前の周りは美人が多いから見慣れちまうってことか。
You mean she's popular because she's beautiful?
ああ、そりゃそうだろ。
He seems amazed that he has to spell it out for me.
内面なんて深く付き合わなきゃどんな子かわからないんだから、まずは見た目から入るんだよ、大抵はな。
Really? Oh wait, I knew that. I'm just stupid. That makes a lot of sense. But, in that case, I feel like Kyouko should be pretty popular too. But in reality, she's not popular at all. She doesn't even have any friends. I've barely seen her talk to anyone.
ああ、朝比奈はなんというか、まあ例外みたいなもんだ。
Let's hear it.
厳密に言うと人気がないわけじゃないんだが、噂とかいろいろあるからな。
Oh? His tone is vaguely evasive. Does he have some kind of hang-up with about Kyouko?
それよりお前いいのかあれ、放っておいて。
He points his chin down the hall toward where Mana and the boy are standing. And they're far enough away that I can't tell what they're talking about, but the boy seems to be gesticulating passionately. Just say what? Meanwhile, Mana looks uninterested as she listens to him. Why shouldn't I let it happen? Mana finds it boring, but this kind of conversation is a type of communication too. I wouldn't want to rob her of her experience. And anyway, she has the power to shut down the conversation at any time if she wants. She doesn't need my help. If anything, I'm a little worried that if it does come to that, she might go overboard with her kotodama.
そうか。妹の男関係には干渉しないってやつか。
Love life. I unconsciously stop in my tracks.
そうだよ。ありゃ明らかに付き合ってくださいって告白してる勢いだぜ。
Go out with him? Like, become his lover?
他に何があるんだよ。
Koichi shrugs. I look down the hall again at the boy who's fervently saying something to Mana. His face does look flushed, and from the spark in his eyes, Koichi might be right. Well, even if that's what he's doing, there isn't anything wrong with it, is there? I doubt Mana will say yes, and as long as she has her kotodama, she's not in any danger from the boy. I suppose that if he jumped her and gagged her before she could speak a kotodama, that could be bad, but surely that's not gonna happen here.
へえ。でもマナちゃんはこっち見たぜ。
As he says, Mana seems to have noticed us standing here and smiles in our direction. And then she starts walking toward us while the boy is still talking.
ちょうどいいところに。
As she comes up to us, she breathes a sigh of relief. The boy is stunned for a moment and then hurriedly comes after her.
ちょっと待ってくれよ。こっちの話はまだ終わってない。
勝手に喋り始めたのはそっちでしょ。私はもう結構よ。
Wow. She gestures at the boy, peremptorily. God damn it. Sometimes this game throws some, like, words and shit at me that Like, it just surprises me. Visual novels in general do that, which I guess breaks the mold, but also, I'm a fucking idiot, and I can't pronounce shit. As if to shoo him away.
いや頼むよこっちは本気なんだ
しつこいわね。とにかくお断りよ。潔く諦めてちょうだい。
Damn. She trots to my side and hugs my arm tightly.
だいたい私にはこのお兄ちゃんという言い名付けがいるんだから。
Hey, yo? Hey, Mana,
は
言い名付けとはまた随分前時代的な表現だな。
Koichi folds his arms and shakes his head. He must think she's making it up as an excuse to drive the boy away. But the boy freezes and stares at us.
言い名付けってなんだ
Yeah, don't use big words, I just told you.
そんなことも知らないの？
She looks back at him, exasperated.
言い名付けというのは結婚を前提とした将来を誓い合った仲ということよ。
だって今お兄ちゃんと言ったじゃないか兄弟なのに結婚するつもりなのか
うるさいわね。
She makes no attempt to hide the displeasure from her expression. Unlike me, she probably feels no need to carefully keep her story straight about being Oribe Mana.
あなた、いいからもう私のことは諦めなさい。
ああ諦めるよ
The boy easily accepts Mana's kotodama and then turns on his heel and walks away. She lets go of my arm and lets out a languid sigh.
年の近い人間が大勢いると煩わしいことも多いわね。
She lightly shakes her head and then goes back into the classroom.
人気者の妹を持つ兄貴ってのもやっぱりなかなか大変なもんだな。
Yeah, it's totally rough, alright. Well, I guess.
しかしあいつずいぶんサクッと諦めたな。ついさっきまであんなにご執心だったのにいきなり別人になったみたいだ。
I glance at his face. He seems rather preoccupied with Mana's suitor's strange behavior, at least from his expression. I'd better make sure he forgets about it just in case. I'm sorry, Koichi, but please forget about everything that just happened with Mana. Honestly, I don't feel good about using my kotodama on a friend, but this time it's necessary.
ああであれ何の話してたんだっけ
Nothing important.
そうだろうな。すぐ忘れるってことは。それよりうっかりしてたが次の授業俺当てられる番だった気がするぜ。
He takes his leave and hurries back into the classroom. I start to follow him, but suddenly I notice something. Hey, yo! Kyouko is some distance away, frozen in her tracks, and looking toward me with an expression of surprise on her face. I've been seen. This isn't good. First Koichi saw Mana taking care of the suitor, and now Kyouko saw me taking care of Koichi. Now I'll have to take care of Kyouko as well. Kyouko. Instead of going back into the classroom, I walk over to where Kyouko is standing.
あの
Kyouko, you heard our conversation just now, didn't you? I'm almost certain she did, but I want to make sure.
はい、申し訳ありません。立ち聞きするようなつもりはなかったんです。
Kyouko was bowing apologetically over and over again at a breakneck pace. Goddamn.
本当にごめんなさい。
No, it's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna have you forget about it pretty soon anyway. Kyoko's eyes widen at my words.
じゃあ、やっぱりさっきの、あれ
Yes, that's right. It's called kotodama. Apparently Kyouko is more perceptive than Kyoichi was. It's a special power I have which lets me control people with my words. She didn't do anything wrong. Though I'll have to erase her memory now. I don't resent her whatsoever from witnessing me using my kotodama. So the least I can do is give her an explanation of what's happening before I do it. Now, how will she respond? It's unfortunate, but she'll probably end her friendship with me over this. Her eyes glisten as they widen even further. She holds her breath. Is she afraid of me? It wouldn't be unusual for a normal human being to be terrified of a god, but...
素晴らしい。やっぱり誠くんは特別な方なんですね。
She breaks out in a huge smile and looks up at me worshipfully. I didn't expect this reaction.
初めて見た時に感じた気持ちは間違っていなかったんですね。あ、もしかして昨日のあれも。
She covers her mouth in surprise. She must be talking about what happened in the library prep room at lunch yesterday. Very perceptive. Yes, I just really wanted to know what you were saying. I'm sorry.
いえ、言いかけてやめた私がそもそも悪いんですから。昔からそういうところあるんですよね。反射的に口走りかけてから慌ててブレーキ踏むみたいな。
She heaves a big sigh and hangs her head. I had steeled myself to do the deed quickly, but her reaction has tripped me up somehow. Hey, Kyouko.
はい、なんでしょう。
Don't you feel afraid of me?
怖い？誠くんが？
She frowns as if unable to understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I just told you I have the power to make people do whatever I want. Not only that, but I've actually used it on her. So I expected her to be horrified by it like Hotaru was.
とても尊い、恐れ多い力だとは思います。でも、怖くはありませんよ、まったく。
Why not? She's standing face to face with someone who has complete power over her. What possible basis could she have for being so unafraid?
だって、誠くんですか
Wow,
ら。
alright. She smiles gently. That's not an explanation.
すみません。自分でもあまりうまく言えないんですけど。
She puts her hand to her forehead as she searches for the right words.
つまり、私は力って刃物みたいなものだと思うんです。使い方によっては人を傷つけたりすることもあるんでしょうけど、上手に使えば美味しい料理を作ったり役に立つことだっていっぱいある。
That is true. She's not wrong.
だから誠くんが特別な力を持っていても別に怖いとは思いません。どっちかっていうと、と納得した感じです。巫女としての私の直感は間違っていなかったんだって。
I see. I'm honestly very surprised at how positively she's responding to the idea of my kotodama power. Maybe one reason is that she has the power to see spirits, so that makes her tend to be accepting of other kinds of special powers too.
でも秘密にしているんですよね。他の人たちには。
Yeah, if people find out about it, it could cause various kinds of trouble.
わかりました。どうぞ誠くんの力で忘れさせてください。
She takes on a beatific expression, god damn it, and faces me with her eyes closed. A beatific? Who the hell knows what that word is? It almost looks as though she's waiting for a kiss. I never thought I'd see a normal human actually ask me to put a kotodama on them. Well, besides Hotaru. In fact, since she's so accepting of me, I'm starting to think that I don't really need to force her silence with a kotodama. Of course, she might change her mind over time, but the same goes for Hotaru, who also knows my secret. No, I think I won't erase your memory after all.
いいんですか？
She opens her eyes and looks at me puzzled. Yeah, if you promise not to tell anyone, it'll be a secret between the two of us. Hotaru once said that a promise was like a kotodama for normal people.
わかりました。約束します。絶対誰にも言いません。これは私のことあげです。
She looks at me straight in the eyes and nods decisively. And though she's not able to speak kotodamas, I can feel a similarly strong conviction in her words.
まあ、そもそもそんなこと話すような相手がいませんしね。
Why did you have to make it all sad? A shy smile of embarrassment appears on her face. That's a kinda sad thought. We need to make you some more friends.
そうですね。でも数さえ多ければいいというものでもありませんし。
Her face turns serious as she continues earnestly.
誠くんのような方と秘密を共有するような関係になれて、私すごく幸せです。しかも妹さんたちまで紹介していただいたり、 本当にお世話になってばかりで、秘密を守るくらいではちっともご恩返しとして足りない気がするくらいですよ。
You're making a big fuss over nothing, Kyouko. You're not indebted to me. I don't feel like I've done anything for her that's really worth mentioning. But maybe her expectations are just so low that she's happy I responded to her initial social advances at all. My guardian spirit and my kotodama are just extra elements that have reinforced those feelings.
いえ、ちっとも大げさななんてことは、誠くんは私の恩人ですよ。何かもっと私がお役に立てることはありませんか？身の回りのお世話でも雑用でも何でも。
I'm grateful for your kind offer, excuse me, but there's really no need to pay me back for anything. She's supposed to be my friend, not my servant or my minion. Don't worry about it, really. I'm the one who first asked you to be friends after all. Anyway, let's go back to the classroom for now.
はい。
I wave her forward and then follow her into the classroom. Huh. Interesting. Now, somebody knows our secret. And it's not our fucking family who we are continuing to lie to. That's still gonna bug me. Sure, you know, Kokodo's route, it kinda resolved it by at least letting Kokodo in on it, but, well, now that's all erased. I don't know, that shit's always gonna bug me, but we will end the episode here. That was a good-ass episode. We made some good-ass progress in this one, I feel. And I really, I gotta say, so far, I mean, we haven't really dug into Kyoko's character too much, but I do like her character. It's, I don't know, it's a little bit of a contrast from Kokodo. I don't know, there's a lot that I feel like we can learn from Kyouko, a lot that we can continue to learn about whatever else is going on overall in the story. I have no idea how long it'll be until we get the opportunity to say yay or nay for going into her route, but we'll continue along as is. Thank you all for watching this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy.